Yo people, welcome back to another video. Who would have thought Daisy Ridley would be defending Star Wars fans? Could this in itself be a marketing strategy to get people to like her, so at least they have that going into the new Rey movie? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Let's have a listen to what she said in an interview on NBC, but before we have a listen to what she said, let's have a listen to what this media puppet says.
I just have to ask, because there are some of the, I'd say, extreme Star Wars fans who have made this a conversation on the internet about how they don't want a female director. Which seems bizarre because episodes of The Mandalorian were directed by females. I mean, Kathleen Kennedy has been overseeing all of this. So, what is your take?
Now hold on, her whole point was stupid. She was just speaking that uneducated mainstream shit that the media wants sheep like her to consume, and they want to trick you, the audience. At no point has anyone said that they don't want a female director for Star Wars. The Charmaine backlash was not about whether she was female or not. When Patty Jenkins was hired for one of the Star Wars films that never actually came out, no one complained at the time when she got hired. It's the fact that Charmaine in particular isn't experienced enough for the job, isn't a fan of Star Wars, let alone does she have a clue about Star Wars. And she even says stuff like she likes making men feel uncomfortable. But because it doesn't suit this idiot's narrative, she fails to mention that last part in particular. We know Charmaine will be trying to push agendas instead of making a good film. That whole "it's about time women shape Star Wars" talk that she said as well was absolute garbage. Also, this puppet was trying to suck off Kathleen Kennedy. She is literally the biggest problem over at Star Wars, but the media has asked this question in order to chat shit about Star Wars fans and get a reaction, as the media usually does, especially when it's a Star Wars show or Star Wars movie that flops. And on top of shitting on us, they were hoping to bait Daisy into pushing female agendas or saying something controversial that will cause backlash, which ultimately ends in clicks for them. The media are so manipulative, they don't have a side, they just want to create drama, they just want to make stuff up. They're the ones that manipulate the fights, they're the ones that create them. The media is literally prequels Palpatine, playing both sides, getting away with everything, and in the end, they're the only ones that gain from absolutely everything. But anyways, this is what Daisy had to say about the stupid question she got asked.
I think my take is things get blown out of proportion, and the interactions I've ever had with people have been nothing but wonderful and supportive. And honestly, the day we announced that I was coming back at Celebration last year, you cannot imagine the joy and goodwill in that room. So I've only ever been embraced, and I think we're going to make a great film and people will love it.
First thing she says is that things get blown out of proportion, which I agree. There's definitely sexist Star Wars fans, but same can be said for every film franchise, even things like sport. The media just paints Star Wars fans in particular with that brush because Star Wars has declined massively and been failing a lot recently. And on top of that, you got Disney and Kathleen Kennedy, Bob Iger, all these idiots that don't want to assume any responsibility. The fact that Daisy has actually come out and defended the fans will definitely trigger Kathleen Kennedy, so that's a W in itself. Then Daisy mentions the reaction she got at Star Wars Celebration last year when she was announced her whole Rey's returning and all of that stuff. I was there when that happened, and to be honest, the reaction was a lot louder than what I thought it would be. They definitely embraced her, they definitely made it seem as though she was loved, like she was a fan favorite. We know she isn't, but the fans at that time definitely made it look as if she was. Obviously, there's a bit of that British patriotic cult thing that played a part when she was getting cheered. That whole support your fellow countryman, countrywoman, that definitely played a part. Overall, just fair play to her for answering it perfectly. No bullshit, no stupidity, no 50-50 grey area answers. Just pure honesty and a mature way of looking at the world, to be honest. I personally have never disliked her. If anything, I felt sorry for her because the script that she got was trash, and she suffered a lot of abuse because of the shit script. Similar to people like Andrew Garfield and what they've gone through. Rey as a character as well, I've never hated, but it's just such a boring, forced character in my opinion. So I don't really care for the character, let alone like the character. So it is what it is when it comes to Rey. I think Darkside Rey would have definitely been good for her character, and if she ended up being Empress Rey, that would have been far better than what we actually got. Apparently even Daisy Ridley was annoyed that all the things that she filmed for that Darkside Rey stuff had been cut out. It was literally what, like a 2-3 second thing in the actual movie? Apparently there was meant to be like a whole scene and there was a lot of stuff with the Darkside Rey, and that whole thing got wiped. Now, like I said, whether this interview was all a trick to clean up the image of the movie or the sequels or just to make it look like she's on our side, whatever, I'll leave that all up to you. I think she's being honest. I think she's minding her business. She's being respectful, and she's not causing drama like I'm sure Kathleen and the media wanted. I still don't care about the film or the character, but she's given a good account of herself, and a lot of respect has to be given to her for what she's just done. But yeah, as always, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Like the video as it helps the channel to keep growing massively. It helps the algorithm, all of that stuff. Sub to the channel if you're new around here, if you enjoyed the content. Thank you for your time and have a great rest of your day.